Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Marriage Culture TV, where marriage and culture intersect. We're your hosts, Queen Athleen and
Nikki O'Hare.
so today we are back with another hot topic. Last week we talked about sex and we talked about it. And
Yes,
you
we
guys
did.
also talked about it. You guys talked a lot about it in our email, on social media, and in the comment section of our video, and we were so appreciative. Some of it was like so funny. So today we are back with part 2 of the sex talk, and today's talk will be how to spice up your sex life
Right? Sugar and spice. Up
and
your
everything nice.
life.
I actually nicknamed Nikki our resident sexologist because she was on fire
Oh,
last week. You
oh,
were on fire.
you did? And thank you for the award. I will graciously accept it. And this week, I will also nominate my co-host as the new sexologist on the block.
It's an honor just being nominated. Woo! Anyway, so we have 6 topics we want to discuss today on episode 8. It has been 8 weeks of this glorious Marriage Culture TV. Yay! So we want to talk about 6 ways in which you can spice up your sex life.
Yes.
And go ahead, Nikki. You want to say something?
Well, yes, I was going to say before we even start getting into it, I would love if you could just go ahead and just like that button because you are going to enjoy it. Make
Yes.
sure that you're sharing to your friends, families, people that you know will also partake of this. And trust me, it's going to be good. So
And
go ahead,
subscribe.
share, like, and make sure you're subscribing. Okay? Don't
Yes.
be stingy and don't be selfish.
Don't be stingy. Don't be selfish. That is not sexy.
Wow.
So anyway, we have 6 points that we want to touch on. I mean, sex is a broad topic, but we're
Yes.
touching on 6 points. We've condensed it to 6, and please add your own down below and let us talk in the comment section. Point number 1, I'm about to say first point. Point number 1 is sex coaching. Nikki, have you heard of sex coaching?
Not until you told me about it. So I'm going to let you dive right into that.
Well, actually, sex coaching is basically they are trained, quote unquote, sexologists, sex therapists, and they're clinical folks. And in some cultures, they may not be so clinical, but basically, these are people that help you to discover and embrace your desires and explore your values regarding sex. Especially if, in the case of maybe like a virgin or something like that, or if you come from if you're marrying interculturally and one culture is very strict and rigid regarding sex and the other may be fluid and fluent, and so you want to have a meeting of the minds, a good place to start would be a sex coach. I know when I was getting married and we went for marital counseling, the pastor that did our counseling touched a little bit on sex, and it was just a question that he asked. That's not sex coaching. And if that pastor is watching, you did a great job in our marriage counseling, but you shied away from sex. We're not going to shy away from it. So sex coaching, yes. So you go to these places, they help you to talk about sex. Sometimes there's trauma in the lives of people, and so they look at sex as a taboo or something unpleasant. So sex coaching and sex education will help you to deal with those deep-seated issues from your past, and it will help you to come to an agreement of what you guys can embrace as a couple to start out with and move forward. Or if you had roadblocks in your sex life, they will help you to deal with that and come to, a mutual ground. So I'll hand it over to Nikki if she wants to say anything or go on to point number 2.
Oh, I really like that. And you did a very good job of just explaining it. My brain was just going off. I'm like, hey, if we're going to talk about keeping that spice in your sex life, there's nothing wrong with trying to figure out or trying to, get that extra info from someone who is versed in that. So, hey, I'm something to think about. But number 2 for us is communication. We can't stop talking about communication. Communication is the key in anything, and it's a big thing when you're dealing with sex. you know. So a lot of times we are such good communicators when it comes to talking about, oh, the day and what happened at work, in the office, you know, different things. Maybe, you know, we just talk about everything, the children, or what do I want for breakfast, lunch, dinner. You know, we are very good at communicating that, but we're not very good at communicating about what we want in sex. It's something that should be talked about all the time. You know, you should be very comfy with your partner. If you're not, start getting comfy with your partner. That's the person that you're going to be sharing that nice bed with, you know. So you want to make sure that you're having that conversation. And while you're having the conversation, it doesn't mean that you can just leave it up for that, you know, time or when you think you're going to be in the bedroom. You know, one of the things we were talking about when we were talking about communication was sexting. And for a
Yes.
lot of people, they're like, what? I was even saying it wrong too. And Kathleen was like, it's sexting. I was like, sex texting. She was like, nah, it's sexting. I'm like, okay. So I had to do my little research on that too.
But
On
that
it.
ba- but basically, but basically that's what it is. So you were good.
Right.
You were
It's
right.
just sending nice sexual content to your partner. So throughout the day, instead of just waiting until you get home and be like, okay, I know what's going to happen now, set that pace. Communicate throughout the day. Have some nice sexting going on. You know, by the time that person gets home, trust me, you don't have to worry about anything else. So, Anthony, I'll let you get over to point three.
Well, I wanted to ask you a question. What would be like a good message, a sext?
Sexting.
What would be a good sext
It
to send?
well, you have to know your partner and what your partner will think is a good sex message. You know what I'm saying? You have so many different emojis that you can use for that.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you don't want to type everything or say everything, you know, check your emojis that we use every day. All those emojis that you have, there are a couple that are just for sexting, and you can use that to pass on some great messages to your partner so that
The heart emoji.
yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I'm not talking about that one. Yeah, we know we love each other. There's some other ones that we want to send to each other. Okay, so
Why
you
are you
can.
being shy, Nikki? You were on fire last
I
week.
am being shy. She just put me out there, but it's okay. So we'll move on to the next topic.
We want to talk about change of environment is the next topic.
Yes.
You know, especially during this lockdown, you are locked down in the house, but some businesses have opened, and even prior to lockdown and after.
Yes.
A change in environment is a nice spice for your sex life. Because, I mean, you know, you roll around in the sheets, you don't have to wash them, somebody else does. But anyway, just being in a different environment, like if you go to a hotel, you know, go to a hotel and it could be in your town. You don't have to travel far, you
True.
know, like go downtown to wherever the city center is or wherever you can afford to go. That change in environment, it just does something to the mind. It does something, it just come out of your everyday humdrum environment. Maybe have dinner at one of the restaurants close to wherever the hotel is, and you can sit and talk. You feel like you're on vacation, and it maybe just down the street or around the corner. Especially if you have kids and you can't afford to take everybody, you and your hubby or your spouse just want some time together. A change in environment is good. And then, you know, with the change in environment, you can bring little things to spice things up. And it
Yeah.
just does something about, there's something about when you travel
Yeah.
and you're in a different environment,
Yeah.
you're so relaxed because you feel like you're on vacation. You're relaxed and you can talk to your spouse in a relaxed mode without, honey, the dishes, honey, the carpet needs to be vacuumed, honey, we need this, honey, this needs to be fixed, this is broken. None of that. You're in a hotel, a different environment, Airbnb, whatever the case may be, change your environment. Nikki?
Yeah, I really like that one with the change of environment. You know, sometimes it just takes a whole load off your shoulder. You feel like you're just two new human beings just having a
Yes.
blast in
Nikki, your volume went down a bit. You want to turn up your mic?
okay. Is that better?
A little bit, but
I don't know what could have.
to you.
Yeah, and you know that's something that is always so needed in a relationship. You know, especially if you're trying to keep it spicy. Point number four. Moving on to point number four. If you're not able to take that trip, not able to take that rendezvous, not able to have that little weekend off, you can always make it so romantic at home. Date night at home. Don't wait until you can make date night at home anytime you want to. Why? It's your home, and why? You can fix it or do it the way you want it. Change the decor. I think I saw Athleen with a little candle at the back. Some candles, some flowers, special dinner. Yes, put some music on, some of your favorite if you're into jazz or some R&B, whatever it is. Please, this is not the time to play My Hallelujah Belongs to You. Make sure you have some nice music at the back. Trust me, it's nice. Set it up the way you want to. If you're living with other people, for instance, your kids, maybe an in-law or someone else like that, you can let everyone know, hey, tonight, Wednesday night is going to be a special night. No, it's not going to be on the weekend. Wednesday, we want to have date night at home. So everyone is aware and know that, you're going to have the home for yourself, and you're going to set it up like that so you can enjoy each other.
Exactly. And actually, that's where I think the term Netflix and chill came from. At first I just thought it was so very it was just as said, but apparently there was more to it. Somebody kind of enlightened me. But Netflix and chill. But really, one of the things that just a practical tip on how to do date night at home. Set up like a nice little picnic in your living room. Spread a blanket. Have, you can do takeout. There's Grubhub, there's DoorDash, or if you want to cook something or have little finger bites, picnic little basket. You and your hubby sit there, you set the mood, turn on the lights, and light a candle. Seriously, but I love that idea of date night at home.
Definitely.
Segueing.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to go to the next topic, but I wanted you to finish.
No, that's good. I'm ready for you.
You're ready for me. Today she's very muted, unlike last week where she was telling people to get it on in the car. Like, what's up with that? Anyway, but the next topic, segueing from date night and home, is setting the mood. Look, if you want it special and spicy, just like if you're cooking a really good meal, like, we're Jamaicans, and when we cook our meats especially, we season that thing sometimes overnight. Let the seasoning sit on it or a couple of hours. And then when you have it, it's really good.
Yeah.
Setting the mood for a spicy sex life is paramount. It's very, very healthy.
Very important.
Very important for your sex life. And one of the things you can do to set the mood is, like Nikki said, it's not the time for, Amazing Grace. It's not the time for hymns, Put on some nice jazz music if you don't want to hear the lyrics, I have some I have a playlist, and it's for sexy time. And, like a candle, I had before. I actually love candles, and I'm very scent driven. So I always have candles in my home, especially if I'm cooking or something like that. But you have the little tea light candles, those that you can put around your home or in your bedroom, have nice lingerie. I cannot beat this topic enough. Lingerie is you don't have to spend a lot of money on lingerie because really you don't need a lot of material.
Definitely.
You don't need a lot of fabric. Get some nice lingerie, so you hear nicely, have your nice scents. You have the lights just dimmed just the way it is, and, lower your voice. Us women, especially women, we know how to do that sexy voice. But, honestly, and even from men too, get your silk boxers, men. You too. You're responsible for making sure you're bringing it. Lingerie is not just for women. They have nice silk boxers for men as well.
Definitely.
Get with it.
Yeah, and I like that. You can always do the his and hers,
Yes.
Even for, to get that sexy on. You have the his and hers, You have the colors that you want to choose, and you can choose different styles for both persons depending on what you're into and what you want in the bedroom.
And then you have oils, body oils, massage oils, start perking up those senses. Then, there are lotions and potions and, things that, listen, it depends on your comfort level and what you're into. Like, they have sex stores. And I remember, a friend of mine's bridal shower, Nikki. I don't know if you remember this. And the very last person to bring a gift, like, people had things for the kitchen and lingerie and stuff like that, and they gave it as gifts. And the very last person came, and she was so hilarious. She brought a goodie bag of stuff that she brought from the sex store. And
I remember.
you remember that? The place went wild. I mean, I was just like, I learned a thing or two then. And I was,
Yes.
I was single, but she had, you remember some of the things that, I remember one was like edible panties.
Yes.
Like, whoa. What were some of the things you remembered?
She had, a lot of the stuff was more on the edible side,
Yes.
with the way she did it. So it was just different creams and oils and things like that. But it was she went into detail with each one, what to do. So
Yes.
it was just, everybody was just like going wild at that party. And it wasn't the person who brought it wasn't the person that you would have expected it from. Let me put it that way.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And that was what
like,
made it so crazy that day.
It was sex coaching, and we didn't even know we were being sex coached.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
It was. Definitely.
It was fun. And, we learned a lot. We laughed a lot, but we learned a lot. And I think that's the first time it opened my eyes. And then I'm like, okay, so they had stories like this. Because, sometimes as immigrants, or, if we come from a very reserved family or society, you may not be so well versed on what sex is all about. But, so segue into our next topic, number 6 is let's get it on.
Even before we even do that, I think we discussed lotions and potions and oils and stuff like that, but we didn't talk about hygiene, which is very important. We did not touch on hygiene. I just wanted you to go in a little bit on that, please.
You're the nurse. You want me to go into? You're the nurse.
Yes,
actually. Hygiene is very important, and I talked about perfumes and stuff like this. But listen, you can't perfume up funk. Take a shower. And I was reading. I'm in some certain Facebook groups and stuff like that, and they're people from different cultures. And one of the things, you can get so much misinformation online if you're not careful.
Yes.
One thing I think, Nikki, we were discussing this earlier, was one lady, she said after having intercourse with her husband, she was experiencing like a fishy smell. That is not normal. That is your flora out of balance, and you need to go see a doctor. So people were giving her advice like,
schedule an appointment with that, OBGYN all the time. And these are things that we should be doing anyway, but hygiene, like Kathleen was saying, if anything is off, you're not going to know, even if you're not aware of it, and OBGYN appointments are very important They're
very important. They will do, the pap smears, they will do the swabs to see if there's an infection there. And people were telling her things like, do clove wash, do garlic wash. I'm like, are you kidding me? No, honey, I wrote her, I said, run to your doctor, go to your OBGYN, go get checked out. They will give you, if you have an infection, then they will give you whatever antibiotics is needed to treat that. Don't play with it, because it can snowball into something else that affects you. But hygiene, wash your hair. If you have a wig on or weave and it's 6 weeks and 4 weeks, and if the wind blows, first of all, you're the first one to smell it. That is not sexy at all.
Well, and we're talking about keeping it sugar and spicy and nice, and you're afraid of soap and water. Why are you afraid of soap and water? You want your partner to be intimate with you and to always want to be intimate with you, but you're afraid to take a shower. How can you have a whole day going and you don't want to go in the tub? You don't want to take a shower. And that not only goes for the female, it also goes for the males.
Yes.
You sweat. Your body gives off odor. You need to get rid of that smell or that scent before you are intimate with your partner. And like Kathleen said, then you can add the lotions and the potions. Then you can add the oils, and make it sugar and spicy and everything nicey, for each partner. Go ahead.
And then you can get it on, our final topic. Then you can get it on. And let me tell you, get it on to whatever makes it pleasurable for you and your partner. Get it on wherever.
Waiting on this part all day. And she has a song that she wants to sing. But before she even sings a song, yes, Afton, go ahead. You can get it on how?
I don't even remember. What are you talking about? Let's get it on. That one.
Yeah, and people are under the impression, and one of the comments, we got a few comments in regards to getting it on. Not everybody is physically able to get it on like some people are. Some people think that they have to be a size 2 before they can get it on, or a size 3. I think it should be comfortable in your own skin. Your partner should love you for whatever size you are, or whatever is going on with you. If that's the person that is for you, who said for better or for worse, that is the person, right? So that person should love you for whatever size you are. It doesn't matter. What makes it, what works for you is and that's part of I'm jumping gun here because what I wanted to say, but I'm going to leave that out. You have to know yourself and who you are to get it on.
Yeah.
Be comfortable in your own skin. Be
Yes.
comfortable with who you are. And then there are people with medically inclined conditions that may hinder them from, getting it on the way they want to, and like I said, communication is very important, and information. You have to communicate with your partner and let them know, hey, the doctor said A, B, C, D, E, F, G, so I might not be able to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but there are other things that you could do to make sure it's sugar and spicy, and just because you're not a size, like I said before, a size 2, and you might be a size 20, there's nothing wrong still in the game. You know what I'm saying? Make it work for you. Athleen?
One of the viewers that weighed in last week, she asked, and Nikki, I'll throw this out to you as well, I'll just give my input, about the age factor. She's in her 60s, and so she's like, you get up to your 60s and you have to, like you mentioned, there's the medical factor that comes to play, that maybe you won't be as acrobatic as you used to be when you were younger.
Let me see if I can do a cartwheel real quick.
I'm sure you can at the right moment, but she said that because of medical issues, that was
Right.
one, and number two, age. There's changes in the body, whereas
Right.
for a woman, maybe you're a little bit drier than when you were younger. And how to go about dealing with this. I mean, hey, we're talking about sex and making it spicy, and what you can do at that age to spice things up. Talking about somebody that's in menopause. Menopause causes changes in the body.
Definitely.
How do you get around that? One of the things that came to my mind, actually, as I was reading that post and talking to this person, was they have lubricants. We're talking about all of that, and lubricants does help, with making things more pleasurable and easier, and especially with regard to like menopause. And I'm not sure if doctors can help you that, but I know over-the-counter lubricants over-the-counter lubricants can definitely help. And then this is where also communication come into play. Like, okay, honey, this is the issue right now, and we're not able to do this. Do what works for both of you, what you can both find pleasure in. Nikki, I don't know, what do you have to say about that?
Right. And then, I like the part that you touched in on with the lubricants. And then there are some natural oils. There are people that are into oils, and sometimes it gives you just that same effect that the lubricant can. Okay, my braces are speaking here. Yeah. So that's another way. But, like Athleen said, make it work for you, whatever is going to get you to that point. There's so many. I mean, we just touched on a few because our time is short, but there's so many other ways that you can make sure that you're keeping that spice there. Anthony, I don't know if you have anything else.
I do. I wanted to say this. You did. I wanted to say this because we both got it from different people that were men, and talking about women in the church. What these men said, and these are men that are in ministry full time, that when it comes to the holy hallelujah, praise you Jesus, they don't want the holy sister in the bedroom. The exact term was...
You're not going to say that.
Yes, I am. Yes, I'm going to go there. They want a lady in the streets and
I have no idea. What did they say?
They want a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets. So, church ladies, all of this applies to you too. Go through all these 6 points: sex coaching, communication, change of environment, date night, setting the mood, getting it on, and leave the Holy Mother Mary out of the bedroom. Your husband doesn't want that. He wants sugar and spice and everything nice. Over to you, Nikki.
And just to defend my ladies, my church ladies, because I am a church lady, and I'm not gonna say, hey, you know, you should not. Trust me, and I just want our viewers to know, Athlene and I, we just flow. Like a lot of times, we just have a topic and we just talk. Like
We
we will
do.
sit before each other and talk, and we're comfortable sharing how we feel and what we feel with you. So most of the time, this is not rehearsed. This is just us flowing. Trust me,
Yes.
you will enjoy it. Um, Not defending church ladies, but you know, a lot of times men are quick to say, hey, this is what I want, this is what I want. But you're quick to say the lady should, but what are you doing when you get in the bedroom? I'm just saying you're saying you want a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets. But what are you doing when you get in the sheets with the lady to make sure she's that freak that she needs to be, or whatever you want her to be? You know, we both have our parts to play, you know,
Yes.
and the communication has to come in, the expectations have to be there, and you have to talk with each other so you can know what each other want. But before we go, because we know we spend a little time, we're going to sing our song, and Athleen is going to lead us in that Marvin Gaye. Go ahead, Athleen.
Let's get it on. Ooh, baby.
Let's get it on. Oh,
Hey, hey, hey,
yeah, yeah.
hey.
You. Thank you again for joining us. Yes, sugar and spicy up your sex life.
Yes.
Um, Trust me, there's so much more. We're going to leave some links in our description below. So, you know, you can get more information, especially with that sex education part
Yes.
that you did, the sex coaching. I like that. I think I'm going to look into that and see what it is all about. You know, nothing, you know, there's nothing new under the sun. Everything that we've discussed are things that have been going on even before times. Different cultures, different generations have done different things. It's just, you know, we're bringing it to the light now like this. We want you to share, and we also want you to like. We see that a lot of people are watching us, but you are not hitting that like button. We need you to hit
Do.
that like button. And
Yes.
once you do, I promise you, we're gonna keep it coming every single week for you. Again, thank you for being a part of our show. We appreciate it very much. This is Marriage Culture TV with Nikki O and
Queen Athleen.
yes, and we'll see
Bye.
you next week. Hold up, yeah, before we go, Anthony, you
Mhm.
forgot. We are gonna be talking on our next show.
Okay.
We are going to be talking about finances. Finances, it's a big thing. In the United States alone, there are so many marriages that are destroyed, or we hear of so many divorces because of finances and what's going on in the home. You don't want to miss what we have to say. Trust me, we have a lot to say. Again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of our show, and we'll see you next time. Toodaloo.
Bye. Yay.